If you had asked me a month ago, will CIG ever release the RSI Zeus? I would have said, no way, it's basically the in-law Ford Model T of spaceships. And yet, here we are with the Mark II Zeus available to buy now after Citizencon 2953. So what are some of the other ships mentioned only in lore so far that could make an appearance, like a zombie rising from the grave? Here's my top 5 list of the most wanted potential zombie ships of Star Citizen. And who knows, maybe next time they need a ship for concept sales, they'll reach back into the lore and pull up one of these corpses. If you enjoy videos about lore, alien languages and the little details, then subscribe to my channel for more. Number 5 is the Jupiter-class carrier from Crusader Industries. This is the vessel that really launched the fledgling company in the early days of the post-Mesa UEE. Moving away from their steady shuttle business, the Jupiter was initially just used for transporting Crusader's products. But the design was so solid that not only did it become a major revenue stream for the company, it was used by the army to move resources to the front lines. I believe this makes it the largest ship to have confirmed to have been used by the army of the UEE. Some people headcanon that the barges floating around Horizon are in fact this ship, and if they are even related to that design, it would be a great ship to get. Something that has a ridiculous cargo capacity like a hull series, or can be used as a ship transporter, but not quite as naked to the hazards of space. At number 4, the Indefatigable-Class Battleship. First mentioned as one of the hulks you might find amongst the superstructure of Spider in the Cathcart system, the Indefatigable was the battleship of the UEE Navy for much of the early Vandal Wars. And when the UEE captured a Vandal warship, it was said to be twice as long as this battleship. A Lawmakers Community Questions confirmed that the Indefatigable is no longer in service, but it'd be great to find a wrecked one or other information that points to its heritage amongst the Navy. And hey, we might find its successor amongst the modern Navy. At number 3, I've got the Misc Fiera. This ship appears in episode 3 of the Tales of Kid Crimson, where the protagonist stalks a man leaving a bar hoping to rob him. The man climbs the ladder into his beat-up Misc Fiera, and then Kid Crimson threatens him into dropping the detachable cargo pod. When Crimson finds that the pod is full of slaves, he kills the fleeing criminal. From the description of having a cockpit and detachable cargo but also operating solo, I'm imagining a Misc version of the Argo MPUV, though maybe a bit bigger and for more independent operations. It could fill a niche between the MPUV and the Raft and an alternative to the Misc A, perhaps attaching to a single 32 SCU container and acting like a space lorry. Number 2 is the xi'an Volper Bomber. I made a whole documentary about this ship that you should definitely check out, it's up in the corner there, and it's the only one on this list where we even got concept art and at one point was described as a ship on the road to release. A sleek vertical blade of a ship, the Volper would have taken the xi'an art style in a very different direction. This is very likely a totally cancelled production ship, but hey, if it emerges in a totally different guise, it'd be cool to have a non-human bomber. And finally, at number 1, the Banu Triptaker. Its only mention is in the 2017 story A Gift for Baba, which was republished to the main site in 2021. It was described as having a grand main chamber with a lavish negotiation table, intricate detailed work of Banu craftsmanship glowing in this room's warm lighting, different materials and patterns combined in a patchwork along the curving sweeping walls which met in a high pointed arch. The ship's docking port enters directly into this chamber and it's just tall enough for a Banu to stand in, so around just over 7 feet high. The room has lots of shelves for the treasure of the Suli. From this scant description, the community has got the idea that it could be a Banu equivalent to the Constellation, but that's really only based on that description that sounds more like a merchantman but larger than a Defender. Not really a lot to go on. Furthermore, the story is set about 500 years before the present day, so it might not even be a ship that the Banu make anymore. Nonetheless, there's a big gap in the Banu lineup, and a modernised Triptaker sounds like a great ship for a small group of explorers. It's possible that CIG would want to take on a medium-sized Banu ship in order to get the team practice before taking on the merchantman, and thanks to the language guide we can even possibly puzzle out what the name would be in Banu, and I'd suggest it be Olenai. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please subscribe for more, and I've been Jail, and I'll see you around the verse.